afternoon, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod. Welcome to the playoff edition of our show. The coach will be along to join us in just a moment. But you know, high above the rafters here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, there's a banner that hangs that says Eastern Conference Champions 1987-1988. The Pistons, of course, would love to hang another one right alongside of it for 1989. But to do that, they'll have to get through this best-of-7 series now against the Chicago Bulls. Now, keep in mind, it's a ball club that the Pistons have dominated a great deal. In fact, they're 9-0 against this basketball team dating back to last May. But many will argue this is a much different Chicago basketball squad than the Pistons have dominated. It's a team that has Michael Jordan now pretty much running the show. It's a team that has also authored a couple of successive playoff upsets. Let's take a look now and chart the path of the Bulls to Auburn Hills. The Bulls finished the regular season with a 47-35 record. Well over 500, of course, but only good enough for a sixth-place finish in the rugged Eastern Conference. Their first-round opponent, a team with the second-best record in the entire NBA, and a ball club that had beaten them all 6 times during the regular season, the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Bulls were pumped for Game 1 and shocked the priceless Cavalier team in Cleveland, turning the home court advantage in their favor. But with a win in Game 4 in Chicago, Cleveland tied that series at 2 games apiece, setting the stage for Game 5 at the Coliseum, a back-and-forth thriller turned into a clinic by Michael Jordan, who scored 44 points, including the series-winning jumper as time ran out on the Cavs, sending Doug Collins into a dance. Then it was on to the Big Apple to face a New York Knicks team, which had also won the regular season series with the Bulls. However, Chicago came away with a series-opening overtime victory in New York, again turning the home court in their favor, even though the Bulls came in the decided underdog. Back-to-back victories in Game 3 and 4 at Chicago Stadium gave the Bulls a commanding 3-1 edge in the series. Set the stage for Friday night's Game 6 and the Windy City Wonder. It was all Michael Jordan.
Jordan brings them to their feet in Chicago. Here comes Michael. Oakley's with him.
Not even a final minute 4-point play by New York's Trent Tucker could lift the Knicks as Jordan stepped to the stripe to put the Bulls up by 2 and send Chicago to the Eastern Conference Finals for only the 3rd time in their franchise history. So the Bulls are here. They are definitely for real. Very, very real.
Yeah, I don't think you make a conference final. I think Phoenix proved that yesterday, unless you're a good enough club to do it. I think got to be talented, got to be together, and got to be well coached.
Your ball club, of course, very well rested. These guys basically go with 8 people. This is their 11th game in 15 days. Could fatigue be a factor that it would work against them?
Well, it can to a point, but when you get to this level, you always seem to be able to do it. We've done it in the past. I think the key to our game is that every guy who plays really hard, trying to force situations. You play hard, fatigue will be a factor, fouls will be a factor. It's a little bit like chess. We've got to try to move some of their key people off the board.
All right, in layman's terms, can you describe the difference in this Bulls ball club from the one that, say, even through halfway through March?
Oh, I think maturity, number one, and as teams are together longer, they keep finding out more and more about each other. And Jordan really knows where people are in the spot up. They searched around. They used Vincent and different people during the year. He's got his rotation down. And the Hodges and Pippen three-pointer is a definite factor because he penetrates so well, kicks it to the spots, and they make those shots.
All right, throughout the playoffs, your ball club has not allowed an opponent to score 100 points. Could you have envisioned this kind of defense?
Not really, and as soon as you say that, they'll get 120 today, sure as we're standing here. But hopefully we can. I really don't think so because they're a very good defensive club. They take good care of the ball, but 70% of their offense is in the open court, and we better get matched up and we better get the ball stopped or they can score a lot of points.
You know, in my mind, you guys kind of pioneered a new way to defend Michael Jordan last year in the playoffs. You held him almost 10 points below his seasonal average. Because he's handling the ball at the top now, does it make it more difficult for you guys to defend him and to find ways to stop him?
Well, we had a scheme last year that we put together and tried it early this year, was successful. When he moved to the point, it changed. We became confused at trying to do it the other way. You've got to play him more straight up because there's not a lot of help, and it does make it a little bit more difficult for your defense. It'll put more pressure on Dumars in particular, Vinny, Rodman, whoever ends up playing him. But the other guys, while they have to stay home, have to be ready to help and lean in his direction at all time. But we've got to take care of the other people. If he gets his 40, he's averaged 35 roughly against New York. They scored 109 points. That's a third of their points. If we could do a good job on the other people, we could still win even if he gets his.
Does the fact that you've manhandled them, 9 straight, does that concern you a little bit? Because maybe they're due
Yeah, you're playing against the percentage, and psychologically, I've used it in reverse against teams. I'm sure they've talked about it. And but hey, this is a whole new deal. Once you go postseason, we proved in Milwaukee we were 2 of 6 wins against Milwaukee. Then we sweep in 4. It's a whole new deal.
It still has got to give your players a lot of confidence, knowing that psychologically you have an edge over them because you know how to beat them.
Well, we should be confident. Just there's a fine line between confident and being overconfident. I don't think we are. I hope not. The key is that even if we don't play well after 8 days off, that we play really hard on every possession.
Right now, the Milwaukee game, game 1, you came in a little bit flat, a little bit rusty. You know, you did some things to guard against that, had them scrimmage. What about today? Any different feeling?
Well, there's no way to read it, and you're only hopefully come in shooting reasonably well. I think, though, the stakes are a little higher. I think our guys know it, so hopefully we're really into it mentally, and they've got all their guns. When Jordan comes on the floor, that's got to do something adrenaline-wise in terms of playing your own game.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, shortly.
We'll be back to chat with Dennis Rodman. Also take a very close look at one of the toughest guys in the NBA, Rick Mahorn. Stay with us. Chuck Daly's 101 is brought to you in part by Metro Detroit's quality dealers and by Cousins Clothes and Cousins Big and Tall, where fit is foremost. Welcome back, everybody, to the Palace of Auburn Hills. Well, you know, the Pistons have not played a basketball game, as you know, since Monday night in Milwaukee when they swept the Bucks. But they did get some good news a few days later. Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman both making the first-team All-NBA defensive squad. It's the first time in the history of this franchise that the Pistons have had a player make the first team. Dennis Rodman is very proud of that honor because he takes his defense so seriously. Chuck had a chance to talk to the Worm about defense and a lot of other subjects.
Just prior to the opening of the Chicago series, we've got Dennis Rodman here, and the exuberant one, I might say. Dennis, your thoughts about Chicago, and I guess in the same breath, you got to talk about Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah, he is the key factor on that team. And you got to realize if you want to stop Chicago, you got to stop Michael Jordan. But now they seem to have other guys now that's stepping in and contributing in a big way right now. Pippen is shooting the ball real well. And Horace Grant is being a big key rebounding player now on that team. And you got Hodges shooting three-pointers.
All right, you probably won't enter the game and play Jordan. Normally that comes later in the game. Any special thought? Is there any way to play this guy?
I don't think so. I think that he's going to get his 25, 30 points a game, regardless of how you play him.
Let's hope that's all it is, right?
Either way, you know, he's going to get his points. But I think that if you can contain him, basically try to make him shoot jumpers most of the night and make him do some things that he don't want to do, force him into some mistakes, and get him up in the air and pass the ball, I think we can be successful. But if you just let him do what he want to do, he's going to really burn us.
Dennis, you have this... You're very exuberant is the word I used earlier, okay? You know, I've never seen a player in this league quite like you. A lot of people see it in games, how they call you a hot dog, you run around, you raise your hand. But I know that you come to practice every single day. In fact, I've never seen you come to a practice and not really play almost, well, as if it's a game. How does this come about? How do you get to this point? You've seen all our other players. Nobody does it the way you do it. Why?
I don't know. I guess it's my hunger. I just want to just go out there and just work for what I got now. And it just all boils down to just being happy and just being out there. I'm feeling like that you, as a coach, Jack, and all the people around me and you gave me an opportunity here to show my talents, to give back to what they gave me. And I just want to go out there and show people that what I started early in my career is not going to end now.
What can Dennis Rodman, you're already ascended to kind of a cult figure in Detroit. You've got, you know, all of the speaking engagements, you've got posters and all of these, you got the nickname Worm. Now all of a sudden the media says you're up for the six-man award. Last year didn't get a vote, and you came in third this year by a couple of votes. You make the all-defensive team. What's next for Dennis Rodman as a player? How do you develop your game as a player and move to another level?
Well, next year I think I can raise my game up just a little bit as far as offense. If I can develop a 10 to 15-foot jumper, I think I could be deadly outside, and people can play me. But right now, I don't have a jump shot right now. You can say that I'm kind of afraid to shoot it with you sitting on the bench. With you sitting on the bench, yeah. But next year, I think that I can improve on that aspect of the game, because next year I think I'll come in ready to play. As far as defense, I'm always play defense. I'm going to give it 110%.
How about the foul shooting? You've definitely improved this year. We've had people work with you, a particular guy that's helped you. Talk about how he has helped you develop as a foul shooter.
Last year when I went out to L.A., Pat Miller came out there as a real good friend of you and Dick Versace, and he went out there and just said, hey, just relax and shoot the ball. I think it's more mental than anything. So I went out there and I kept shooting and shooting, and I was getting more frustrated because I wanted to do his way and be more relaxed. And as days went by, I was getting the feel of the ball, getting to relax, and go out there having a great time. And now it's like it's all coming together for me now. I'm going up there relaxed, shooting it, good rotation, and not even worried about it, settling down.
You are probably the premier, if not one of the 2 or 3 premier offensive rebounders in the game. And as a coach, you can't buy this. You can't get people to do this. I mean, most people don't want to do it because it's hard work. Do you have any special secrets about how you're able to come up with all of these offensive rebounds, particularly at the end of the game and at a crucial time? I mean, it's a skill that you've developed somehow. No one's really taught you to do it. How did this come about?
I think in college, I had a coach there that was really, really aggressive coach as far as rebounding. And basically all I did was just kept working, because you don't find too many players that wants to go in there and mix it up, bang, and try to get offensive rebound. Basically, you see guys going there, you know, if the ball comes to it, that's fine. But you don't see them going there and mix it up. I think now is that since I'm in the pros, I'm the type of guy I'm not a big guy. I'm only 6'8", maybe 210. That just go in there and I just give my body up. I sacrifice a lot of things just to try to get the ball so my other players on my team can score and get an opportunity to do something else.
You know, as a player, you represent a lot of players in that you came up late, became a player late, and your frustration level is very low. For instance, you know, we've seen you kick the ball further than any punter in the Lions. You'll miss a layup and you'll throw the ball against the board. How can you help a young player overcome this frustration level? Can you?
You can. It's many times you done told me to just relax, don't worry about it. You know, the great players miss shots, the great players miss a rebound, this and that. It's really hard for me because I know that I can do it. I know that I can do things better. But it's just so hard for me to really settle down and gather myself and say, hey, you got to be under control. You know, it's because I'm so hyper. And I just want to do things right. I don't want to get you pissed off. I don't want to get my teammates pissed off. So I got to do it right.
All right, Dennis, thank you very kindly for being our guest. We finally got you on the show. We had to capture you, put chains on you, put you in the room, but we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach.
Have a good game today.
Okay.
Transportation for Chuck Daly's One-on-One is provided by VIP Limousine Service of Farmington Hills, servicing Metropolitan Airport. The Palace is starting to rock as the Pistons are now on the floor warming up, getting ready for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Chicago Bulls. You know, there's an old adage in pro basketball, or any sport for that matter, you have to judge a trade a few years down the road to really see who's a winner, who's a loser. One of Jack McCloskey's best trades used to be considered one of his worst. We're talking about the deal that saw the Pistons work a trade with the Atlanta Hawks. Remember Cliff Livingston, Antoine Carr to the Hawks for Dan Roundfield? A year later, Roundfield was sent to the Washington Bullets for a fellow by the name of Rick Mahorn. I doubt there's a Pistons fan anywhere right now who would not make the deal, Rick Mahorn for Antoine Carr and Cliff Livingston. Ricky finally is getting national recognition because of the basketball he plays. He's been called the master of intimidation, Detroit's #1 bad boy, the thug whose dimples appear at the mention of one 6-year-old little girl. So while he's a daddy off the court, on the court, it's all business.
For 48 minutes when I'm on the court, I'm into the game, and my concentration is real high. And people just don't know that I take my job very seriously.
It's a thankless job, facing such opponents as Atlanta's Moses Malone or Boston's Kevin McHale. But somebody has to do it.
I'm trying to use my body as much as possible if it takes to even bump a person one way or bang a person that way, or just force them to do something that they're not normally doing, then that's better for me. That's to my advantage.
I dig it.
We're not the most agile people, as you can say, but what we do, we use our body, and that's our advantage. We have to bump, we have to bang, we have to do things that make us better players and make our team better.
There is one person that Rick has not been able to intimidate, and that's the apple of his eye, the Horns' little girl, Moya.
I don't spend a lot of time with her because of the season, during the season, but the off season we spend a lot of time with each other. We go places, and that tends to be my best companion hanging out with.
In your eyes, the light, the heat.
She's 6 years old now, and she picks up the phone like she owns AT&T. I can hear things collect from Moya, or I can hear a phone call before she goes to school in the morning about 6 o'clock. Hi, Daddy, what are you doing?
Bumping and banging on the court may just be easier than being a daddy.
And when I really realized she was a big girl is when we went on this one trip from Atlanta, and she had to use the bathroom, and she went in there, and I was so nervous I couldn't wait till she got out. It felt like somebody could snatch her, put her down the back pipe or something like that. But she came out of there. I said, "Did you do it?" She said yes, and she washed her hands and everything and walked and came out there. I was like, oh boy, I got a woman on my hands now.
Mention Rick's little girl and the bad boy of the NBA lights up, erasing the image of the villain or enforcer. But not for long. The minute he steps on the court, there's a job to be done, and nobody does it better.
All my instincts, they return. The grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside.
I really enjoy playing basketball, and I really enjoy winning, and I do not like to lose.
In your eyes, the light, the heat. I am cold.
Welcome back to the Palace of Auburn Hills, moments away from the start of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. How are you feeling right now as opposed to exactly a year ago when the Celtics and the Pistons were ready to start Game 1?
Well, I'm probably more nervous today. Seems to be more pressure this year. The expectations are very high, and I'm definitely nervous.
So the role of the favorite is not necessarily, I mean, granted, you want to be the best team in basketball, but the role of the favorite is not easy, is it?
No, it's not easy, particularly when we haven't played so long. That's the thing. I just don't know the fact that you don't have any feel for how we're going to play. I just told them in the locker room, come out and play as hard as you can. It's a chess game. We can eat into their bench somehow, foul-wise. It'll help us.
All right, in the New York series particularly, Bill Cartwright was a force. He was playing against his old team. He neutralized Ewing a little bit. But in my mind, I don't know if he can be as physical and as dominating defensively against a Bill Laimbeer, can he?
Well, he's a different factor against us. Frankly, Corzine, or a series that we've had with him, has been more of a problem because we don't play him quite as well. But it'll be interesting to see how they match up, and we'll have to take advantage of whatever matchups there are.
Now, you know Chicago's coming in here with the idea, hey, if we can steal one, right?
Yeah, that's the scary part. That's all they're here for, try to steal one game. They've done the first game in both series, New York and Cleveland. They won the first game, so we've got to beware.
So in terms of going back to Chicago, then do you expect a different kind of series there because of the way they play?
Well, I'm not going to worry about those two games. I want to try to get this one out of the way. I'd like to get a W. Then you got 6. We need 8 wins to get through this whole thing. We need 4 in this series. We got 4 games at home.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Pistons and Bulls coming up next year on Channel 2 with Brent Musburger and company. And we'll see you next Saturday prior to Game 3 in Chicago. Some of the guests on Chuck Daly's 1-on-1 will receive gifts from Auto One Accessories and Glass. You're number one at Auto One. Check the business white pages for a location nearest you. A gift from Helbros, the new tradition in time. See Helbros quartz watches at leading stores and catalog showrooms. A gift from Adray Appliance Photo and Sound Center, the original superstore in Dearborn. And apparel from Cousins Clothes and Cousins Big and Tall, where fit is foremost.
And all my instincts, they return, and the grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside.
Eli Zarin Sports on Eyewitness News on TV2.
CBS Sports presents the NBA playoffs. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final as the Chicago Bulls take on the Detroit Pistons. The PGA Tour, live from Fort Worth, Texas, the Southwestern Bell Colonial.